He was afraid to sue me, but when it comes to crushing Michael Cohen and Donald Trump's legal bullying, I'm nothing. I'm just a rank amateur compared to Michael Avenatti. We have seen no one like this, no one. It doesn't look like they've met their match in Michael Avenatti. It looks like they've met the lawyer who can crush them both.
Adult film actress Stormy Daniels says her attorney, Michael Avenatti, sued President Trump for defamation on her behalf without her permission. Daniels tells the Daily Beast Avenatti started a fundraising website to raise money for her legal expenses without telling her about it. She says he refuses to this day to tell her how that money is being spent. Daniels says she has not decided whether to keep Avenatti as her lawyer.
It's pretty obvious that the American people have come to the conclusion that this was not some publicity stunt. This wasn't some money grab. She did this for the right reasons, namely to get the truth out.
We closed tonight with breaking news about a man we thought we'd never mention again on this show, a man who for a bright, ugly moment dominated cable news and then, like Sanjaya, receded into well-deserved obscurity. But he is back for a moment, creepy porn lawyer. You'll remember he came on this show a couple of months ago and suggested that he was a feminist. We responded that he was, in fact, exploiting a troubled woman, Stormy Daniels, in order to transform himself from a sleazy lawyer into a presidential contender. And here's how he responded. Stormy Daniels is right now working in strip clubs in little towns on stage. People are throwing things at her. You're wearing a $1,000 suit. Why are you not paying her? You've profited from Stormy Daniels. You've done tens of millions of dollars worth of free media on the basis of your relationship with her, and she's working in strip clubs. You're exploiting her, and you know that. Why aren't you paying her some of what you're making?
Sir, this is absurd.
It's not absurd. Those are the facts.
No, I've done a remarkable job for my client, and she'll be the first one to tell you that.
Well, it turns out that his client will not be the first one to tell you that or to vouch for his services as a lawyer. Today, Stormy Daniels leveled several blockbuster allegations against creepy porn lawyer. First, she said that he sued the president for defamation against her without telling her. That could be a crime. There's more, though. In a statement to the Daily Beast, Stormy Daniels says, quote, "For months, I've asked him to give me accounting information about the fund my supporters so generously donated to for my safety and legal defense. He has repeatedly ignored those requests. Days ago, I demanded again repeatedly that he tell me how the money was being spent and how much was left. Instead of answering me without my permission or even my knowledge, the creepy porn lawyer, quote, launched another crowdfunding campaign to raise money on my behalf. I learned about it on Twitter." That is her statement. Well, it turns out the creepy porn lawyer is right about one thing. He has done a remarkable job for himself, the only client who matters.
Regardless of what happens, Lawrence, we're not going anywhere. My client's not going anywhere, and I'm not going anywhere. We are going to see to it that the truth about what happened here is laid bare for the American people, and the evidence is laid bare for the American people. Frightening to her.
Was the threat part of the reason she signed?
I think absolutely. When the president's fixer exerts pressure on you to sign a document, you don't ask a lot of questions. You do as you're told.
Hold it now.
Absolutely. When the president's fixer exerts pressure on you to sign a document, you don't ask a lot of questions.
But first up, he's not only the attorney who represents Stormy Daniels, he's Donald Trump's worst nightmare. Michael Avenatti.
The former chief of staff, of course, in the West Wing, someone who both of you worked with, he said he thinks there's a chance that the president could attend the dinner next year. Do you think that that is true?
As the president likes to say, we'll see what happens. There's always a chance, and you never know, but we'll see what happens.
And he did a great job at Gridiron earlier this year. So he expect, and I predict confidently, Caitlin, that next year he'll have more great economic and security news to tout. So he'll probably be back out there with among the folks who want the president to visit their community, and maybe he'll send some of us, but like he says, you'll never know. Keeps you guessing.
Well, thank you both for joining us. Enjoy the dinner.
To what I just said about Donald Trump never denying anything Stormy Daniels has said, the only thing he seems to contest is the idea that he was in any way involved in this threat to her.
Well, you're right, Lawrence. I mean, he's never admitted anything either. He's really stood behind the White House spokespeople. Well, you're right, Lawrence. I mean, he's never admitted anything either. He's really stood behind the White House spokespeople, the deputy, and Ms. Sanders.
You are something of a folk hero now. How are you coping with your newfound fame? I imagine you can't go anywhere.
Well, wait until we actually accomplish something in the coming months. Okay. But let me say this. This woman, when she does surface, will be found to be 100% credible by the American public. I would not be representing her if I did not believe her. And if anyone has been paying attention over the last 6 to 7 months, they know that I do not traffic in nonsense or rumor. I utilize facts and evidence. And this woman will prove to be credible.
Mr. Avenatti, you believe that in many ways your client's case against the president, I've heard you say, has gotten stronger over the past few days. What specifically did Rudy Giuliani give you in terms of ammunition?
Well, there's no question it's gotten considerably stronger, and it's even gotten stronger this morning. The more they talk, the better our case gets, and here's why. Because they can't keep their stories straight. They can't keep their lies straight. They keep providing further explanations upon explanations because they don't want to tell the American people the truth about what happened here.
On Monday, the court sided with Trump's lawyers who claimed that the tweet included an opinion and that the president was protected by free speech laws. Daniels has also been ordered to pay his attorney's fees, but her lawyer says they will appeal the decision.
I must ask you the $64,000 question. Are you going to run for president?
And here's what I'll say. A lot of people have approached me and suggested that I run for president.
Did you ever think you'd be running for president?
No, I didn't, actually. It's been a whirlwind 6 months, and, I think I have a real shot if I decide to do it. It's a big decision, though. She's free to speak. She's free to speak. She's free to tell her story. She's free to speak. She's free to tell her story, and the American people should get to the bottom of what happened with this $130,000 payment.
So why hasn't she returned the money?
We offered to return the money 2 weeks ago.
I know, but she didn't.
No, but we offered to return the money.
So just do it.
We may do that.
Why wouldn't she? It's not fair for her to keep the $130,000 while she's already been on 60 Minutes telling about the whole affair, right?
Well, I think what's not fair is for her to be constantly called a liar, basically, by Mr. Cohen and others, put under their thumb, intimidated, and not being able to provide an opportunity to tell her story. And she's free to speak. She's free to speak. Intimidated and not being able to provide an opportunity to tell her story. And I also don't
not have an opportunity to tell her story. 22 million people watched the 60 Minutes interview with Anderson.
But he's a lowlife. He represented Democrats. Nobody ever talks about that. He's a Democrat lawyer. Not a very good one, but he's a Democrat lawyer.
I am your voice.
Why do you care? That's a political matter for these people to care about.
Well,
why would Stormy Daniels be leading the charge on whether that payment violated the election law?